it's become this outlet that for most people it has a de-stress and an unwind component to it.
It's almost addictive.
It's not almost.
Well,
it is.
Yeah, that's true.
there's no almost. It 100% is. And now, when you look at all these, I'm starting to see some apps or something come out and get advertisements for it, where they're pushing you to take that weekly that activity monitor and shows you how much you're on your phone.
My goal is 5%.
And they're saying that this app's going to help you decrease that or whatnot. So it's like people have almost recognized that that's a problem, and now they're starting to use the devices to help you get off of the devices.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But one of the things I saw was it locks the app. It's like, from the hours of 8 to 5, it's locked. You cannot open Twitter. You cannot open Instagram.
So I play chess every day. Chess.com, greatest app in the world.
What's your rating?
Right now I'm at like 14. It depends. I play 3-minute games.
1400? Okay.
Yeah, I play 3-minute games.
Okay.
So until I play a real person, we'll see. But my attention span isn't the greatest. I'll check out on you if you take too long to move. I'm out. I'm gonna start fishing or something. But what was interesting? I lost my train of thought. Go figure. What were we talking about?
Social media and how it can be addictive. Then there's people creating apps to get away from it.
Yeah. So we have these limitations on the app. I don't know that they're, we tried that, only play 1 hour of games a day. But you have the option of, you're in the middle of a game, you can go 15 more minutes, an hour, for the rest of the day and so forth. But, I don't know, man. It was one of those things where you really, it is addictive, but I don't think this is a problem that people want to kick.
No, it's they almost want to figure out how to make it good and how to be like, oh, I've been on my phone for 8 hours a day, like.
Well, so here's the thing, as an entrepreneur, I have my Outlook, I have all the things that I need on the app, and I made a statement once. I'd almost rather you steal my wallet than to steal my phone, because that connects everything about my life. I read my devotionals on it. I schedule my appointments. You communicate your emails, all of that, and your games and so forth. It literally, is like a personal assistant. I would much rather you take my wallet, because I can just make a phone call and cancel all that stuff. I don't carry cash anymore.
Right.
So,
100%. I, over the weekend, dropped my phone into a lake, and I was like,
I'm sorry.
I'm like, what am I going to be? How am I going to function?
How am I going to get home?
No, it's not that. I know where I was at. I know I can get home without a cell phone. But it was like, you're right on. I've run the show for the last 4 years off my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, computer in the mornings to maybe do some editing or do some other more serious type of work, but like from a posting standpoint, from interacting, emails, everything's done from my phone. And so, my initial thought was like, oh, snap. How am I going to function? Now, luckily, I can attest the iPhone 13 is waterproof for at least 3 feet and for 5 minutes.
Come on.
So it works just fine. I didn't have to do it, put it in rice like people used to do in the old days. Nothing. I took it out. It was still drenched in water, and I tapped the screen, and it lit up. And I was like, perfect.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Let me tell you my iPhone destruction story. It broke my heart. We were going to church, and I was getting everybody ready. Come on, we got to go. Ex-military, move.
Right.
I put my phone on the hood of the truck.
Why?
Because I needed to go in and get because my wife wanted my son to wear a tie. He didn't see the point, and blah, blah, blah. So I get everybody in the car. We pull out the driveway at the red light. I get on the interstate, and I'm 40, 50 miles an hour. I see something, and I remember it was my phone. So I pull over. I'm like Will Smith running. A little chunkier, but I'm like Will Smith running down.
No, it's real. Oh, it's real. You were Will Smith running for sure.
Dude, this 18-wheeler seen this. It's like he saw my phone. he changed the lanes.
Intentionally hit it.
All 18 wheels hit my phone. It's over there flipping and everything. And I'm like, no. We take it to the iPhone store and somebody, the Apple store, and somebody texted me and it still worked. I mean, it was completely shattered. They're like, how did you do that? Like, long story, but it's still, I mean, I couldn't open it, nothing, but it was still receiving text messages. But I remember that my kids think it's funny. I'm like in a suit and everything running down the interstate and this dude cracks. So, yeah.
We've created this dependency on this device thing. Sure. And it's created, for some, it can be an unwinding factor. It can be an element of relief and a way to de-stress from the day. I get it. I'm not knocking it for that component. But from a human-to-human connection standpoint, and when you look at mental health and you look at that factor specifically, it can do more harm than good because you almost lose how to have a conversation with somebody without bringing up, did you see this on Instagram the other day? Did you see this on this platform? Did you see? And then you start sending, I'm guilty of it. You know, you start sending it to folks and it's like, oh, you got to check out this video. You got to look at this. You got to look at that.
And that personal interaction is limited.
Right. That personal interaction is limited. It's cut, and it's getting to the point where if it doesn't happen within this realm, you know, and Apple just released their new headset, right? And to me, that like terrifies me because now they're giving you a way to literally be plugged in 100% of the time and somehow figure out how to function your day.
Well, I'm gonna go a little contrary to that. What I've seen. So obviously, you know, you had people working at home during the pandemic, and I was one of these folks that, you know, I didn't necessarily work from home, but what we're seeing now is we'll have meetings, and I want all my leaders there. I am very old school in that respect. I want to see your body language. You know, we have to hash out issues, right? And so we'll have these meetings, and everybody's in the conference room, and then you'll hear these type of comments. Man, I miss being at work. I miss being able to go and have, you know, lunch conversations, or, you know, the little things that we would do before the day gets started and so forth. So, you know, I don't know that it's it's right to just completely legislate that, but I do know that we never placed those demands on people. But what we did see is that, you know, you started seeing people operating more of a hybrid environment where if they were home 3 days a week, you know, or they were in the office 3 days a week, they were home twice, you know. So you start seeing that flexibility happen, and you know, that's pretty interesting. What I do find, and I don't know if you've heard this, but that burnout factor, you know, is there a technology burnout? And I do believe we experienced that with the last hurricane, because cell phones were down for a while, unless you had a home generator or whatnot. Electricity was out, and so you had to talk. And so you kind of back into that pandemic environment, and I think that's healthy, man. You know, we're pre-wired to interact with people. It's a part of our development. It's a part of what helps shape our identities. Part of what, you know, helps us grow. And so I don't know that we'll get so far removed and plug into the matrix and you know, red pill, blue pill. I don't know that we're gonna get there. I mean, we may be there. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Are we in it right now?
I don't know, man. Is Lawrence Fishbone around? Neo. But you know, water seeks its own level. You know, what we need, we're gonna get. If we're hungry, we're gonna look for something to eat. And a lot of where I think the more collaboration happens with all the folks we've discussed, you know, there are needs out there. You know, we're the app can facilitate so many things, but it doesn't take away, or it doesn't compare to the hugs for family members and the handshakes, and it just, you know, when you drop the ball, or when you do something well, somebody puts their arms around you. You know, it doesn't, you know, technology can't do that. And right. So I'm one that believes that water seeks its own level. And when you start looking at that, the more we are informed that, you know, most folks will make well-informed decisions and try to give themselves the best opportunity to land on their feet, so to speak. That's and I may be naive, but that's just generally what I see.
Yeah, and I think you're 100% right that people are going to find their own sense of balance,
right?
And they're going to find their own sense of comfort. And at the end of the day, there is no trade-off for a human-to-human interaction.
It's not.
There's nothing like it. You can't replicate it. It is truly incredible to see how our brains are different when we're face-to-face with somebody, when we're standing next to somebody, when we physically interact with them, as opposed to interacting with a screen.
Correct.
It's just so different.
I don't think they're going away. I think that technology is going to improve, and then you start thinking about AI and all of that.
It'll be great wonders. It'll be like those films where people are in a boardroom, but they're not really all there. But you're able to have more productivity within the workplace.
Right.
You're able to interact with people on a different level. It's going to improve, and it's going to do great things. But I just don't see it, getting to the point where it's replacing sitting face to face and physically interacting with another human.